Welcome back to Money Talks. So today, I know by now you've heard me speak a little bit about first, stay calm, stay calm. So today I'm going to give you a little bit perspective and then also tell you how you can be calm financially as you're going through this trial situation. But first, if this is your first time joining the channel, please click the subscribe button as well as the like button just to give me a thumbs up if you like this content or any other content on the channel. As well as go ahead and leave me a comment to let me know that you're here and what things you want to hear about. I do my best to respond to all comments. So one of the things over the past week that I've been really trying to stress in the video is, hey, stay calm. Financially, stay calm. Don't do anything rash. Don't do anything quick. Make sure you're calm before you make a financial decision. And the reason for that is if you try to make a financial decision while you're unstable, while you don't have all the facts, while you don't have all the perspective, what you will do is you will do unnecessary harm to yourself financially. So in the case of before, when I said, hey, go ahead, make sure you reach out to your lenders, make sure you turn off any subscriptions you don't necessarily need, things like that. Well, now you're starting to see in your news or from people just posting that, hey, some lenders are deferring payments for 90 days, 60 days, even 120 days. Understand that, yeah, you will accrue interest throughout that time, but you're not going to get penalized from a credit perspective or from a you missed a payment and get some fees. So had you went ahead and made those payments, that would have shorted you on your cash and that would have altered what decisions you could potentially make. So that's why that's just one example of why I want you to stay calm. Or maybe recently you've seen or took a peek at your own 401k or even investment choices. Well, there's no surprise it is down, but I want you to keep things in perspective. One thing we know is that in 2008, when the market was all the way down, it got down to what the Dow is called like 6,000. And I don't expect everyone to understand what that truly means, but it's how we track the index, how we track the stock market. The point being is yesterday, that same Dow was at around 20,000. So yeah, it is dropping. There is uncertainty in the market, but not only will things come back, things will rebound, but your particular situation with your particular investments isn't as bad as the prior years. And that is very important because that can, again, give you a little bit of peace of mind that, hey, maybe it's not as bad. It is bad because who wants to lose money? But the fact is, it's not as bad as I think when you put it into context. The same thing can be said about the virus. Now there's new information as far as what's going on with Italy. And I posted a link in my Facebook group that really kind of describes what does that look like as far as what has been uncovered with all the people who have died or have been in the time with Italy as far as their diseases and things of that nature. Well, a lot of those people already had other diseases that were combating in that scenario with Corona, as well as the average age of a person who died was 79.9, which is very high. But again, that's not new information. We knew our older generation, our parents, our grandparents are more susceptible and the ones we should be most concerned about during this crisis. So I give you all that information just to really say, really keep perspective. Yes, I understand Marriott's closing. A lot of jobs are closing. There's going to be a lot of layoffs coming. Yes, every day the number keeps climbing as far as how much and how many people this is affected. Well, the fact is we didn't distribute tests all around the world. So every day that number will climb as far as how many people we know have been tested. We have to give it some time to actually ride out, get the resources in place, because that piece of the puzzle is just now starting to happen. People are just now getting the test. People are just now starting to get more information. So it's that number of people who have contracted the disease or people who even have died from the disease will climb, and it will climb for at least the next few weeks. But stay optimistic, stay positive, because we will get through this. The next thing I want you to do to stay calm is, yeah, it's not a good thing to be in big groups or things of that nature. But when you're trying to stay calm, one of the best things you can do for yourself is exercise. Now I get it. Everyone's at home, and sometimes it's just locked down. You have to be inside. Do what you can. Walk around the house. If you can, if you have the ability to, walk around the neighborhood for about 5, 10, 15 minutes and come back. That will help just the overall physical awareness of your mind. One of the hardest things to do is to try to solve a problem in tension. But that's what exercise does. It frees up another, and access is another portion of your brain to allow those decisions, allow things to be a little bit more clearly. I know for me, when I have a big problem, one of the things I do is I go play basketball. Why? Because it always seems that every time I'm playing basketball, I can work out a problem in my head while I'm shooting, while I'm running, while I'm doing all that. And the problem doesn't seem as daunting. Yes, this is a serious event, but there is a way that you can actually stay calm through it. And financially, you don't necessarily have to take as hard of a hit as you think. Next, really, if you're facing a layoff or facing some type of unemployment, if you're single, definitely get connected with a friend. Get connected with other people that can offer you moral support and mental support to help you stay focused throughout this time. Yes, you will have some decisions you will need to make. Yes, there are going to be some bills, and you do have to make decisions on what do you need to pay first. But some of the biggest problems that we have is that we usually try to go about these things alone. If you're married and you're facing unemployment, like myself, if I'm a husband and I lost my job, that is probably the hardest thing I have to do is to tell my wife. Personally speaking, no man wants to come in and subject themselves to that. But I will encourage you, if you do that, if you can take that first step about letting your wife know, letting your partner know, hey, my job's not looking too good. I don't really feel too good about this scenario. What things ail you? Talk that through. Get it out all on the table so everyone understands what's going on. Also, if maybe you didn't lose your job, but your job has transitioned you home. Well, I know a few months back, that same situation has happened with me and my wife. But one of the things I had to realize was my wife had her own routine of how she did things, when she did it, because she had been working from home for a while. For me to come in, I more kind of took over that space, and a conversation needs to be happen so that we can find what would be the most equitable solution for us to be able to work in this joint space and everyone get their needs done. It's not to say my job and my priorities is more important than hers or hers is more important than mine, but it is a way for you to understand that, hey, there's a way we could probably work this plan out and work this time out because we're going to be in close quarter. Sometimes you need to be near. Sometimes you need to separate each other and be in different rooms. It is going to be tough because when you're around people just in general for 24, 48, 36, and for some people now 2 weeks, it can start to bring tension. Tension can sleep in. I love my wife, but we are human. She loves me. We are human. The point is, really look at ways that you can start to devise a plan with your spouse, with your kids, so that everyone is getting their needs met. If you do have kids, now is actually a good time for them to get one-on-one face with you to understand, hey, what does paying bills look like? Hey, I didn't know lights cost. Teaching them that things aren't actually free and what is the process to actually paying bills. That also serves as a lesson for them to start to learn how they can handle their money. All these things can add to you being a better person and have a little bit more calmness in this uncertainty. The fact is, this won't go on for 2 or 3 years. It just won't happen. Already they're starting to see decline. Already we're starting to see progress. So I would encourage you, regardless of what's going on, there is a way for you to be calm. Please take a note and go connect with a friend, write a plan out, and if you can't, exercise. As far as your finances, take care of the most important things first. Get your food underway, understand what meals you need to do, then secure your shelter. After you secure your shelter, then pay your utilities. After you pay your utilities, then worry about your car. Do things in that order from a needs approach. And if you do that, not saying that you can totally eliminate the impact, but you can lessen the impact that things happen on you financially. But again, before you do anything, pay any bills, and if you know you're missing a check, go ahead and reach out to your lender. If you have credit cards, personal loans, student loans, mortgage, whatever, there are resources and more things are developing as time goes on. I want to be with you throughout this time, and I know we'll go through it and be stronger together. Until next time.